Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the Wolf. Welcome to the Wolf Den. It's Monday, baby. Welcome to Trade Recaps up in the Wolf Den. What a day today. We actually had some nice momentum for Monday. It was all right. We got into 6 plays. It was a pretty epic day. Let's just go ahead and roll to executions. Thank you, Rebecca. So I got up on top of the list, TEUM. Now, take a look right here. Somebody's picking up 8.689 million shares right at the bell yesterday. Now, this is common because we picked up 5 small cap tickers, small to medium cap tickers. Somebody's picking up shares, and they're doing it right at the bell on Friday. Now, we're aware of this. There's big money coming into small caps now. Just pay attention to that. So let's hop over to the Jumbotron and see what time it is on the 3-year chart. Again, this is TEUM. Now, the first thing I notice is a 1 for 25 reverse split, 2/23 of 2017. And then the charts, it looks bullish, but sideways. And we're trading in a range here between sub $1 to $5. So there's 111 million shares in the OS. But like I said, we're sideways. The major consolidation here is in between 205 and 320. Now, these are my levels right here. Let's zoom in on these levels. 270, 277, and $3. These are the areas that interest me. Now we pop up into pre-market and we are over $3 for some time. Now, real quick, let's hop over to the fundamental room in the Wolf Trading Discord room. Here is the warrants that we pulled this morning. So we have warrants as of March 31st, which could have got used, but we found the consensus as a room that some of these warrants are still active. Here they are right here in more detail. Even I highlighted them for you. So we'd love to have you in the Wolf Trading room. Come take a look. It's open enrollment. We just looking for talented traders so we can get better 1% every day, baby. So here we are at the open, TEUM. Let's just go ahead and pull executions. Now, I didn't want to jump into this one early. I wanted to watch a little bit of the order flow. Now, we had a consolidation here right at 290. Now, I'm watching this. We're sub VWAP. I don't like short entries, even starters sub VWAP, but I just want to give this one a little bit of room, and I want to see what it's going to do at the bell. So we do end up giving it some room. Now, if you look right at the bell, it pops down. We see a little bit of weakness when we crack that 285 right here, 286, 285. We crack that. We come back up. And now this is when I'm watching to see if sellers are going to attack. Are we going to let this get up, back up into the threes, or are we going to attack it now? I am under the assumption that sellers are stepping in, so I hop in at 286, and boom, we get into that flush. Now remember, I had those levels, 270 and 277. Now this is a band right here where we do end up getting some support, and I take some profit. Now I'm looking to add back, but I'm not going to add back under VWAP. I want to see this come up and get a nice hard flush and a stuff at 285. I think I had orders out at 284. Right around here. We just didn't get it, and we get some more weakness. Now remember, we have these warrants. There's possibility that there's warrants out, so taking that into consideration and just taking profit. Now I should have taken the final piece off at the red to green line, but I did not. Just getting greedy because I only have a starter on, and that tends to make me want more range to get more money, and that's not correct, right? We need to trade off of the chart. We need to trade off of a fundamental and technical thesis, and that's just me being greedy. Now, we start to get a pop, and I notice from the red to green line, right, 261, yesterday's close, we're seeing some major propping. Now, I know that we have a possibility of warrants, and now we're propping. Now, that gives me conviction. Now, I go back to my levels, 270, 277 off the 3-year volume profile. We also have short-term technical and volume resistance right here. That gives me the conviction to hit this right here at 274. Actually looking to add more up here, but this thing just kind of fizzles, right? Now I see the guy who's the manipulators who are propping the bid up, who are not getting filled. They're just propping and pushing. Now I see that they're gone, and that's what gives me the conviction to enter. Now we get a little flush here, and now guess what? They're back, but they're on the offer, pushing this thing down. Now I got a little bit bored with this end of day. I had an original target out, as you can see, at 263. 263. Now, as I switch my target to market and I put a marketable limit order out and I take the position off at 266, I did not take off my targets. So what happens as soon as I hit this order, it flushes right into my target and I get filled, and again, now I'm in a long position. I continue to make this error. So the new rule is before I want to adjust my targets, I have to take the old liquidity off the board. But I do the right thing and I don't wait for any type of ideas or theses to form in my head. There's an error right there. I correct it and I get in and out. Only cost of commissions. Not too bad. We'll take that trade. This trade is a nice little winner, which we would have got more size on. Now let's move over to CDMO. Now, CDMO, this thing is strong. We are on day, I believe it's day 3. I'm not sure. But again, look at this right here. Somebody's picking up shares. Right here at the after hours, picking up 605,000 shares. Just make a note of that. We see you, buddy. We think it's the same institution or bank. That's my thesis, just between me and you guys. Okay, so this thing is pushing after the bell. I'm looking to put a feeler in right here, 590, right, 595 off of a $6 thesis. Let's hop over to the Jumbotron real quick. Now here's my bands. Let's zoom in on this. Now here's a technical resistance right here, right? Everyone's looking at technical resistance. I'm interested in the volume deposited on the chart. I could trade this right here. This is more important to me than the candles. So as we come up to 590, $6 right here, I have a $6 line off of the majority distribution. Now if we pop above that, I should cut, and we're going to get into a different type of consolidation. Right, so there's the volume deposits. Here's the technical short-term resistance on the daily chart. Back over to executions. I put a starter in and I put another feeler out, coming up with a 591.6 average. We push. Now I have a 75% and a 25% layered stop. Those get executed. This was a little bit of a wide stop, but I really wanted to nail that top on the first try. It did not happen. We protected ourselves. We're out of the position completely. Now comes the weakness, right? I timed it a little bit off on the timing, and now I put this feeler back on into weakness right here at support. This is a bad entry. Now we pop up. I catch this one on the way down off of the 1040 candle, giving me a 603 average. So I had a 591.6 average. Now I'm working a 603 average. So now I gained 11 cents. Now I lost more than 11 cents on the stop out, so I'm behind. Now the market is beating me at this point. Okay, so I take the full position off at VWAP. Also right here, support to resistance line right here at 593. We get a hard flush under it. I take it. Now we come under VWAP. There's no way I'm shorting this under VWAP. I'm not even going to short the first pop. Now we come down. I see the weakness that I want to see. The tape is looking good on this. It gives me conviction to get back in off of a high, lower high, lower high. Now once we popped here, I should have cut. But I added, hoping that we could get a double top. Not really thinking, look how strong this thing is. Now this is just me wanting to win this trade. This is not... It's not a good read. They got me on this one, and I continue to size in. But I did the right thing. If there is a right thing to say here, my sizing increments was small. So here was a starter, right? And I added small size, small size, small size. I put my two larger adds here and here against my stop. My stop was 627. Now you're saying, why is your stop 627? Look, right here. 602. 636, this right here, this technical band, 636 was really my stop. I cut out just because of the loss on the play. Right? I don't want to give up any more loss. These should have been higher. These are trader errors. Now I'm not afraid to show my errors because that's what we do. We learn from our mistakes. I personally learn at least 10 times more from my losers than I do my winners. Now I wish I would have waited. I wish I would have had patience. Again, shorting next to VWAP, adding too soon, and scaling into a position, scaling into a 620 double top thesis, and then giving it more room. Can't do that. We cannot do that. So I cut out. I enter back in the position here at 618. and I carry this one till the end of the day, taking some profit, finally taking profit here above VWAP and at VWAP at the close. I remember it was tough to get out. I was trying to get out 604, 605, and they were just not giving that liquidity up on the buy side. This was tough. This is going to be a tight move tomorrow. I have some shares carried over. You can see I have a 592 and a 577 targets on this. I'm keeping close watch on this. This thing could have another leg tomorrow, right? The people who are buying this liquidity up after hours right here, I want to know, what are these guys doing, right? What are these guys doing getting 605,000 shares? All right. Next trade is, let's do PRPO. All right, so PRPO, here's another one where I had to cut. Now we're coming up. This could have been a chat room pump. After the bell, we start to get volume. The pre-market volume was very minimal, as you can see right here in between these two lines. Not much. Wasn't even really on my radar until we started to get a pump in at like 9:32, 9:33. People just start, this is in play. Now let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. So initially we get a pop up to like 4:30. And I'm in a few different trades at this point, but this is on side watch. I'm alerted through the peripheral vision of the tape. Now, I wait until we get a nice flush, and myself, along with a couple other guys in the room, we entered here at support, sub VWAP, sub $4. That's a mistake. So I had to cut the position. Now, I did cut the position before high a day. I did not add into this one or try to scale into this. This was just a poor entry, and I had to cut. Now we come back down. Let me 1 second. Let me just go ahead and zoom out here. Okay. PRPO, I want to show you guys something. So we were looking at this play, and we were noticing the retracements on this. So this pushed, the initial push right here, or the seller retracement from the high is 11.5%. Now that's pretty legit. That's going to shake out some longs. There's some manipulation going on here, because we see high a day 433, then we see an 11.5% retracement, then we see a new high a day push, and then a 13.4% retracement, and then a 9, and then another push, and then a 9% retracement. Now this should just eliminate. This did eliminate multiple longs. This is like a megaphone pattern. This is not the pattern, but this is an institutional manipulation pattern to shake out longs and shake out shorts. Now, I had a 424 ad. I was looking to size in at 424. This is only a feeler, and I just missed it. I put that order out, I remember, at 10:05, the same time I was filled, and I just didn't get a fill. Now, I put out a target in the room at 365, and I was fortunate enough to get that fill, that bottom tick cover, and that was just off of the short-term technicals, or the short-term volume deposits, actually. And then we get another push. So here's my exit right here, based off of short-term technicals, 365 exit, and we start to push. Now, instead of trying to play around with this and get another ad, like I said, because of this type of manipulation, I just went ahead and I trailed my stop down. So I trailed my stop down to 392. Based off of this consolidation right here, and it was just a full cut in the money stop, which is fine. We'll take that. So I stopped out once, stopped out twice, and this is a green trade. I like this. This one's going in my notebook. I'm going to study this one, right? We want to stop out when we're in the money, and we don't want to give profits back into the market, right? So now let's pull up IEA. IEA was the big runner in pre-market. There was more eyes on IEA in small cap world than any other ticker, in my opinion. I know everybody in our room was looking at it. Other rooms were looking at it as well. I'm sure you guys were looking at it too. And here we go. Big push in the after hours and a nice little retracement. And then this one pushed and trapped all of the shorts who were in this, because they had, this was a fundamental, they had some, an S8, I believe. They definitely had insider warrants out. So insiders and people who own who own 5% of the company or more want to get out of the position, or it might be SC13D and SC13C. G and D, not C, I apologize. But basically, people who own a percentage of the company or directors are trying to get out of some of their shares that are recently unvested, I believe. So I wait until basically trying to add on this one. I remember trying to get in off of lower highs. So I need something to risk off of. I don't know if they're going to, how high they're going to take this. I don't know who's pushing it. I don't know who they got pushing buttons for them, but they're shaking people out, and this makes me a little bit nervous. Now I do have a 348 line. If we take a look right here at the, here's the 3-year chart coming down from 10 bucks. We're just looking super fadey. The main consolidation right here. Look at the main volume right here in between 237 and 348. Now that's where this thing wants to be. I mean, look at this volume. That's from volume previously, which is not even in this area. This is from these high volume, actually from this high volume today. But these were my levels previous to today based off of this consolidation. So I'm looking at 348 and I'm looking at 304. Now let's go back over. So here's 348. This is where we top. That's where we top out at, and 304 were my levels. Now, if we can enhance executions, so we're starting to wedge a little bit here, right? And whoever's manipulating this, they have a lot of volume on the bid, they have volume on the offer, and they're keeping this thing in a zone where they feel comfortable, and they're trying to get liquidity on the bid, right? So there's more sellers than buyers. This is speculative, but when there's more sellers than buyers and they're trying to sell, they need to create or trap bid liquidity. So they're trying to project this to be a nice long, and once they get enough volume or enough passive liquidity on the board, on the bid, then they can smash it. And they're going to remove their liquidity, and they're going to hit all of the liquidity that's on the board. Now, I was watching this one here, particularly from 12 o'clock until 12:30. I was spending a lot of my mental resources on the tape, and this is what I noticed. And I came up with the thesis that there was 2 specific ECNs that these guys were using, FADF, and I'm not positive, so I don't want to say, but they were using two ECNs that were not normally being used up until this point, when there was a lot of green prints and there was a lot of fast, smaller green prints, and it's to my opinion that they were projecting potential buyers coming in when really they were just pulling liquidity from themselves. Basically, they're just exchanging liquidity from one pocket to the other, giving false impression that buyers are coming in. And then they pushed past 305, and then once they had enough buyers coming in and enough people putting orders in here, they just pulled the rug and smacked it. And that's what I think they did, because they did the same thing again here when they flushed right here. They flushed at 1429 and they flushed at 1230. Now, these are just opinions, but I got a decent read on this. Reading this tape right here, if you recorded it, guys, watch it again. This made me a better trader. Now, I took some off here at 289. Now, again, they made me think that it was strong, because normally I would be looking, knowing that there's S8 and that there's insider warrants out, I should be taking first target here at 273, which I probably did have a 273 target, but they made it look strong. They did a good job. So, good job to that. Now, I had ads out here. I had ads out here. I did not get filled. I had ads at 284, I remember. After this push, I had ads over here and here at 284. Now, these guys know where the liquidity is at. They don't want to go up into that. This longs are bagged from this point forward to where they don't have enough liquidity. It's not in their best interest to squeeze the shorts into all of that bagged long liquidity. So they just stair-stepped it down. They did the same thing they did here on a mini consolidation, and they made it look strong. Higher lows right here, and look at the volume on these candles. This was a very, very smaller little stuff right here compared to the liquidity that these guys got off of here. Now, I have a 252 target. I'm still holding tiny size. Again, I couldn't get in here, so I have starter size, and I'm looking for that 252 fill, just going off of a more broader thesis of what's really going on with this trade as opposed to short-term technical targets. Okay, so let's look at FRSX. So FRSX was, we had a thesis. Okay, FRSX yesterday or Friday was a big runner. These guys put in some decent volume. I'm not going to pull up the higher time frame chart, but you guys remember this one from Friday, massive volume here. Remember, everyone thought this thing was going to the moon. It stuffed right under $3, and now it's just fadey for the rest of the day. We had a weak pre-market. Then they pushed this. These guys had, let's hop over to the Wolf Trading Fundamental Room. Okay, here's the guys. Here are the people who are involved with this. We have some underwriters involved. There's 4 million with the potential to buy another 600,000 shares out at an average net price of 141. So these guys are sitting with 5.6 to 6.4 million dollars, and they're invested into the stock at $1.40. Now they're going to push this up. Look, they didn't really take too much. It didn't take much. Right here is the pre-market liquidity. Basically, they pushed this thing up cheap. They got it up to about 220. And then this thing is just weak from there. I put a starter on here at just under $2, thinking that this thing was going to fade. Again, it's above their interest price of $1.41. Now, you can't blame them for getting it as high as they want. I ended up adding at 217 with high a day around 222. So I'm happy with that entry. Now, I'm just watching this. I'm watching it. It's staying under VWAP. We're getting wicks here. It lets me know that this chart, that this order flow is weak. I see a lot of red on the tape. I go ahead and I take profit. First target at 197, and then I take some more profit at 191. And I had a small piece left, and I was looking for the red to green line. I was not expecting these guys to come back up. They did come back up. I had orders off of the technical resistance, still maintaining that 141 warrant fade thesis. Now, when we came down, I took a little bit off because they did make it look strong. Now, right here, this is these guys going to work. And they manipulated the tape. In my opinion, this is all speculative information, but these guys are trying to get buyers, right? They're trying to accumulate buyers above VWAP so that they can sell into. You can see the amount of volume above VWAP was substantial compared to the relative volume of the day. And then this thing just kind of goes sideways under VWAP and it's game over. I exit the position above VWAP just for profit. I just wanted to get out of this thing. It's probably going to continue to fade where it belongs to go back to its home at $1. But I'm out of the trade. MLNT. Okay, MLNT is strong. This is another stock that has some decent. Hold on one second. Apologize. So let's take a look at MLNT. Again, somebody's picking up massive shares right at the after hours yesterday. They're picking up 556,000 shares, right? Look at the volume profile. They're picking it up at 665. It comes down, touches 665, and immediately goes back up. This thing is strong. It was strong yesterday. It's strong today. What am I doing shorting it? I'm still in a short position from that front side day one when it went up to, let's see. Where we went up to roughly around 815, 820. I still have some shares from day one and day two. Now this thing's looking grindy. You can see where my targets are. This is where I'm trying to exit this position. So I am using more of an advanced strategy, just scalping. I've been scalping this short as it's being pushed up. I've been scalping it since this day right here. So the last 3 or 4 days, I have been taking some meat out of the move. Man, I wish this was go a little faster. So basically, when this thing popped up in the morning, I just started shorting into pops. Man. Sorry, guys. This is real slow. This is the last trade. We're going to go over this one, and then I'll get you guys out of here. So I came in under $7. We flushed. I held on to all of my shares, looking for potential backside or reversal pattern. We did not get it. I continued to add under VWAP, and then we popped up, and I did add here. Now my size is relatively small to my front side position. I'm just trying to get a little bit of gravy, I guess, on top. Now we came down, and I watched the trade. I mean, maybe even a 2 or 3 cent loss right here. My average on this push was probably like 294, 293, 693. I mean, and I exited the position right here at 697. Now we start to go sideways, and I like what I see on the tape. There must have been a trigger on the tape here, especially with this being a higher high, projecting that this could be resistance at 710. And so I entered the trade. Now we get a little bit more strength, and 729 is a real relevant line for me. As you can see on the jumbo, I have a green line right there. It means that this is potentially a reversal point for me. Look at this volume consolidation from these last 3, 4, 5 days, including all the way up until the beginning of the year. We have a massive volume line right here at 730. So that's what gave me the conviction to go ahead and put the majority of today's size right here at 728, and then just taking some profit throughout the end of the day. Now, I don't know if this is going to go back up. They're going to push it above this level in after hours, which, you know, currently they're not. And I don't think if they can't get it, they're not going to push it up. Now I'm under the thesis that it's going to fade, and that's just an opinion of mine. I'm still holding some shares from today, and I'm still holding shares from day 1 and day 2 front side. Okay, guys, that's FRSX, IE. That's all the trades, guys. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out. Sorry about the lengthy 27-minute trade, but let's just go ahead and take a quick look at the runners. And these are going to be in play for tomorrow. So we had IEA. They still probably have shares out on those. PRPO, closing strong. That's going to be on watch. NP. TN. Now, this was an easy trade, in my opinion. I missed this one. I had this one on my radar pre-market. I got a little caught up looking at this one, but this one had a nice, easy dilution to it, I believe. We're going to continue to watch that one. CDMO, as we talked about, this thing should still be in play. MLNT. Now, hopefully we can get some backside movement on this. We're still backside from day 1, day 2, a couple days ago, but this thing is getting strong. We're going to keep this on close watch. We're still active in the position. FRSX. And TEUM, we still think they might have some warrants out that they're trying to clean up on the books. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day, guys. We really appreciate you watching these videos. If you got some time, come over and take a look at Wolf Trading on Discord. It's open enrollment. We're looking for talented traders. We're looking for new traders. We're looking for any type of traders that just have a passion and who are looking to get 1% better every single day. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.